our dogs get their adult teeth, they're obviously white and clean to start with, but after a few years, if they don't have any home dental care, they start to form some plaque on their teeth. This gradually builds up over the years and becomes calcified to form calculus, which builds up along the teeth, particularly along the gum margins. They also get inflammation of the gums and recession, the roots get exposed and the teeth can become quite loose. It's also associated with quite nasty halitosis. In the early stages, the changes are reversible, but eventually they become irreversible, and then even professional cleaning and polishing at the vets under anaesthetic can't return the condition of the teeth and gums to their original healthy state. And the plaque reforms really quickly. So this is quite a welfare issue for the dogs and also a financial issue for owners because they might have to pay out for veterinary dental treatment. And it can all be prevented by training our dogs to accept having their teeth brushed from an early age. When we do the training, it's a good idea to do it in a particular place or on a mat so that the dog knows what to expect when they're there. We use treats. They're a very good way of focusing our dog's attention on us, and they can help them to form a positive association with our training. They also let them communicate with us. Because if the dog's willing to engage with the training and be offered the treats, he's showing that he's actually coping with what we're doing okay. But if he moves away and forgoes the opportunity to get the treats, he's showing that he really doesn't want us to do any more and that he's had enough. So it's important that we stop at that stage so that he has a feeling of control over the situation. So we'll start the training. We also have a marker word which we use, and that indicates to the dog that he's going to get rewarded for tolerating what we've just been doing. If your dog's already quite used to being handled, you can start straight away with working on his head and his mouth. So, stroke his head. Yes. Mark it and reward it. Stroke again. Yes. Mark and reward. And again. Yes. Then we start working on the lips. Start off just gently lifting the lips. Yes. Then the other side. Yes. And then we start to run our finger along the teeth. Yes. And then the other side. Yes. You might have to stay on this stage for quite a while until your dog's really happy with having your finger in their mouth. But when they're ready, you can move on to using equipment. So this is a finger brush. As the name suggests, it fits on the end of your finger and has little rubber protrusions, which allows you to do a nice gentle brush on the outsides of the teeth. We can use toothpaste. This is Logic Oral Hygiene Gel, but there are other good toothpastes on the market. You can get them from your vets and online. So first of all, we just let the dog investigate it a bit, and he licks the toothbrush and the toothpaste. Gets the idea of what the taste is like. And then we just gently insert it into the mouth. Yes. And the other side. Yes. And then we try a little bit of brushing. When you're ready, Derek. Okay. Good boy. Yes. More. Yes. little bit more brushing. Yes. And more on this side. Yes. And you can keep using a finger brush as long as you want, but you might want to move on to a proper toothbrush, because they can do a slightly more effective job at brushing. So again, we show him the brush and let him investigate it. And gently touch it in the mouth. Yes. On the other side. Yes. Then a little brushing action over his canine teeth. Yes. And then into the back teeth. You might have to do this all a lot more slowly with a dog that's not really used to it, but Derek has had it done before. Yes. And it could take you quite a few sessions to get to this stage. Derek. Good boy. Yes. Yes. Be very careful not to jab the bristles into the lips or the gums, because we really don't want to put our dogs off that way. Good boy. And when they're really used to having their teeth brushed, you can start to introduce a cue word, a cue phrase. I use time for teeth. So that means you can just do it any time you want, not just when they're on the training mat, because they'll know what to expect as they make the association with the cue. If your dog's really not used to being handled, for example, if they're a rescue dog that has had some unpleasant experiences associated with handling, then you need to work on general body handling before you worry about tackling toothbrushing training. But you can use a similar technique, just gently touching different parts of the body, marking and rewarding. But just be very careful to watch out for any signs of anxiety. So if they pull their head away or yawn, lick their lips, or if their body goes tense, anything that indicates that they're not totally happy about what you're doing, then stop the training for that day and go back a step and just work a little bit more slowly. If you're really struggling with your dog's handling issues, then you can get some help from one of the FABC members on the Find a Behaviourist page. Now, veterinary staff are often asked whether dental sticks are an effective way of maintaining the health of the teeth and gums of their dogs. And the answer is not very. Brushing's been shown in studies to be much more effective than using dental sticks. But most dogs really love them, so they're quite a good reward to use after teeth brushing rather than as an alternative to it. I would always give them a reward for having their teeth brushed, because I don't think many dogs actually enjoy the process of having the brushing done, but they can really enjoy anticipating the reward they're going to get at the end. But bear in mind that dental sticks are quite high in calories, so if you're struggling to control your dog's weight, they're probably not the best thing to use. I'd use a less calorie dense treat for them, or chop the sticks up into small pieces and just use a little bit at a time. The last thing I'd like to say about brushing is that it's a really good idea, if you can, incorporate it into your daily routine. So you link it with something that you do every day. Derek and I do his teeth just before he goes out in the garden for the last time before bed to go to the toilet. But for some people it might be more appropriate to do it after breakfast or when you get in from your main walk. It doesn't matter when, it's just that something you do every day, and that way the toothbrushing will just become a habit that you don't have to think about. And also the dog will expect it. Dogs thrive on predictability and routine. Otherwise, it can be quite tempting just to think you'll do your dog's teeth every few days or twice a week and then keep forgetting to do it and putting it off. But if it's a daily routine, you won't need to worry, and that'll be for everyone's benefit.